And let's start. So, hello everyone to this week's sprint meeting. Hannah is on a plane right now, on her way to Asia, and so it's my honor to guide you through the meeting. How is everyone doing?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, I'm doing better. This cold has really knocked me the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah, winter is finally here. Yeah, I don't know if David is going to stop by. This week has been mostly to do with finishing tasks for the release. We have a release candidate now, so I think we are almost complete. And we will do a code freeze probably tomorrow when Hannah is back in front of a computer. Yeah, we have already started to test the release on Ghost Pro, so it looks good. I think the problem we saw today with Grunt init is something we need to merge.
Yeah.
Kevin, what do you think? I really can't explain why it is failing.
No, I've got no idea why the behavior's suddenly changed, but the fixes in that PI submitted fixes the issue. So,
Yeah, I saw that they build a screen now, but yeah.
still a mystery.
Yep. And I can tell when it started to fail because I sent the pull request and 5 of them went through and 3 failed with the same error. So it must have been sometime today in the afternoon. It's really strange.
Yeah, because nothing was merged this afternoon, really, was it?
No,
Wasn't.
no, nothing that I know of. No. Yeah. Anyway, mystery. It will stay a mystery. Yeah. And the aim of the release is to bring out API and Get Helper. This is going to be huge, in my opinion. And the next 2 weeks will probably be bug fixing most of the time. And we have a lot of PRs on hold that should be merged at the beginning of the next release cycle.
Some of the PRs which are due to be submitted are quite big changes. Are we handling those alongside bug fixes in case we want to do a quick bug fix release? Or I don't know how we usually handle that sort of thing.
I guess that we will wait with the big merges for another 2 or 3 days, and if nothing really bad shows up, we will merge them, and if there is a bug fix release, we will need to do it from the stable branch. Okay. So send the pull request to stable and then create the new release from there.
Mm-hmm.
What is going to change with Ember 2.0?
I don't think there was a ton. I mean, I guess if we wanted to do.
Yeah, Ember 2.0 doesn't change anything. That just takes out loads of old code, which I think we've got rid of all the deprecations for. But if there are deprecations hiding somewhere, it means that that will now throw an error because the code that it's hitting won't be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once we get a release done, I will go through and rebase that Ember update PR and get it to 2.2. There's a couple of things that Ember added in 2.1 that are duplicates of what we had in Ghost already, so those can be removed, but it's fairly minor things.
Yeah. What it might be prudent to do is have just the updates in one PR, and then any other changes which result from new features in Ember as separate PRs.
Okay.
At least that way we can differentiate it easier if we need to pull anything out quickly.
Makes sense. As far as Ember CLI, that PR should be good to go.
Yeah, that one looks fine. We're just waiting for the after the release in case there's any kind of issues in different environments, because the CLI tends to, from the amount of releases they had quite quickly, hit quite a few dependencies.
Yeah.
So,
Well, cool. Okay, so Kevin, you are going to do most of the Ember 2.0 merges next week.
yeah.
And I'm going to work on an internal project. Hannah is going to do refactoring for filters and the model layer, because the code that is merged right now is working, but it could be done better. So she's doing a lot of refactoring. Maybe she will also get rid of the situation where we overwrite our options object and keep the original options within the models, so that we don't have problems like we have seen today, where properties are deleted and would be needed later. Yeah, and I think that is the plan for the next 2 weeks from our side. Austin, you said that you are working on tests heavily.
Yeah. Lots of acceptance tests, fun. So hopefully I can get a decent amount of those done over the next week or so.
Cool. Would it make sense to send partial PRs for that?
It could. I've been splitting each test up into separate commits, but if we want to split, I mean, they're pretty much disassociated from one another. So if I wanted to do separate PRs, we'd probably do that.
Yeah, my thought was to get it to GitHub so that more people can have a look.
Okay.
Yeah, separate PRs make sense as well, because as we pull PRs in, everything else we're working on gets tested against the acceptance tests which are already there.
Makes sense.
Yeah, for me on the client side, I'm going to be finishing up our modals refactor, and then I think after that there's some work I want to do on swapping out our autocomplete search component ready for some work on filtering, which I think there's some design work starting on soon.
Ooh, exciting. Better search.
Yeah, being able to filter the content should be a good feature.
Cool. So, are there any questions? Anyone else would like to say something?
Hello.
Hey, Fabian.
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you again.
Yeah, I finally made the call. I always
Cool.
miss the hangout. Yeah, so basically I missed the first few minutes. Is there anything small on the back end or the front end that I could do? I believe Hannah wanted me to look at some of the GQL stuff. I think just error reporting on like when the parser fails, but I'm keen on working on something else.
Regarding small issues.
I mean, could be part of a larger issue. I'm happy to work on whatever.
I have to take a look at our issue list if there's something in there.
Cool.
What I know, what would be really helpful is to keep an eye on the GQL repository, because Hannah said that you have experience with query languages.
Yeah, that's right.
So you might find something suitable there.
All right, cool.
I think isn't there an open issue to do with MySQL and SQLite 3 and standardizing, finding a way of standardizing the ordering?
Yeah, there is.
I think that
There
could be
is.
something. I think that could be something. Yeah.
That would be something in your alley.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll ping you after the hangout then.
Cool.
You see it, it's right at the top of the list. It's easy to find.
All right, cool.
I just had another thought. During the code freeze, I might use that time to rebase my ES6 PR for the client, because that one's tricky to keep up to date whilst everything's changing. So
Yep.
yeah, if I can get that one in as one of the first PRs after the code freeze, that'd be good.
Cool, yeah, it's noted. Yeah, and then I think that was all we had for this week.
Yeah, I think it's really when we do get the release out there and it's in the wild and we find the bugs. I guess that's what we'll be focusing on, a fixed release. Hopefully not, but
Oh, there will be plenty of bugs or things that don't behave as expected.
So I imagine that being the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, for me, it's I'm quite curious how how users will use the new features, the API, and what they are going to build with it. Because right now we are only testing with lists of tags and maybe a list of authors, but we haven't built really big applications with it.
Across a lot of data.
Mm-hmm.
Across a lot of data as well. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how much test has been done on the count side of things, because the count, when I was doing the testing, that wasn't even a thing, the count, like the post count and tags count. I don't know if that's a thing now, if that works, or...
We found a bug today, that prevents you from getting the posts count for users, but not the posts count for tags, which has to do with the overwriting of the options object.
That's what you were saying about earlier, yeah.
It's only the post count for a single user. Is that correct?
It doesn't work for a single user, correct, yeah.
Is that if you use that list as an attribute, that's in just ID, or is that as part of a, is that part of an include, or is that
The
part of a
problem
filter?
exists if you select a user via the path. So you say users1 and then include count.posts.
Okay.
That fails.
It's interesting.
Well, I need to head out, so ping me if there's anything.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we are at the end of the meeting. Or does anyone have anything else to say?
No?
All good? Okay,
Cool.
then. Thanks for joining.
Cheers, everyone.
See ya.
That's it.
Bye. Bye-bye.